Ah yes, Geometry Dash, our favorite game involving jumping over spikes, people smashing their keyboards, weird people, and whatever the heck this is. But do you notice the problem of this? No, I'm not talking about the gameplay. Note the decoration. Where is the geometry? For a game that has half of its name occupied by it, it's 2/3 actually, Geometry Dash has a surprising deficit in the geometry category in many circumstances, but I want my analyses to be scientific, so I have been asking myself, how much percent of GD actually has geometry? Also, before we begin, I have never made a video essay before, so this might not be the highest quality, but I couldn't resist the urge to make one of these. Do tell me what y'all think about this and if y'all like this video format. Now let's get to the video. So let's begin our analysis by addressing the elephant in the room. What will we consider geometry? Well, geometry is the branch of mathematics that studies the properties of space involving shapes, their properties, and their measurement. So we will separate all of geometry in this game into two categories, simple geometry and complex geometry. I will define complex geometry as compound shapes that require more than 20 subdivisions to be composed of only quadrilaterals, triangles, ellipses, and/or circles. For the purposes of this video, simple geometry will be the only one that I will consider geometry to make my life easier. We'll also be dividing this game into different categories, starting with... You can judge a person pretty easily from their icons and icon sets. For example, this guy is not real, this guy started playing GD 2 seconds ago, and this guy has not gone outside in the past 30 years. Purposes of this video, personality is off the table, only the geometricity. So I checked all of them. It took 2 hours. Well, what is my conclusion? Well, even being pretty merciful, 28.8% of the icons are geometric, while 71.3% aren't. So it is less than the 2/3 geometrical we require. Now, without further ado, let's engage in the next topic. So let's talk about the decisions taken by Rob Topler regarding the objects he included in his $4 square game. They're mostly fine. Geometry is found basically everywhere in the editor, besides from the Monsters tab. But what comes out of the editor, not so much. For this part of the video, I have decided that to find out how geometrical the average GD level truly is, I will play 100 recent tab levels that are either long or excel, since shorter levels will more likely than not be tested without any attempt at decoration, and calculate the proportion of geometric levels. Let's go!
Hello, Blocks.
Hi. What is it?
Don't touch grass.
No thanks.
No, I insist.
I de-insist.
It is for your well-being.
Nah.
Dude, it's the recent tab. What do you think will happen to you?
I know, dude. It's for content.
How about you go get a girlfriend instead of spending 20 hours playing Geometry Dash? It seems more fun.
Well, I agree.
Then go do it!
Nah.
Fine, go play bad levels. Don't tell me I didn't warn you.
Okay, now I will do this.
2,000 years later.
I stand by my point.
Shut up.
I'm gonna go to the rave. I'll be right back. Have fun!
God, this would be a great medieval torture method. My conclusion regarding geometricity in levels is that it is mostly inexistent, so I'll give it a 5% geometrical rating. Anyway, it's time for the next topic. Regarding physics, I'll talk in regard to the paths that the game modes take. And to do that, let's enter Desmos. This is an ad. It's time for the educational block to step in. This, my friends, is a parabola, which is usually found when you plot y equals x squared into a graphing calculator like Desmos. But it can also be found in the conic section generated when the cutting plane is parallel to exactly one generating line of the cone. I have no idea what that means, but it's also the trajectory that the cube takes in a jump. Well, not exactly this parabola, but one similar to this. The wave always moves in lines perpendicular or parallel to each other, which is not a very shocking conclusion. Unless it's a mini wave, then it's a bit different. Jumping to a flip portal also produces the same path plotted by cubics and graphing calculators. The movement in some game modes, however, doesn't really make sense. At first glance, the spider teleports instantly up and down, but there's a limit. The spider always moves a third of the block for every teleport. The problem? This happens regardless of the space between the first platform and the sense platform. The sense was not able and willing to be made at this point. But here's another issue. No, not this issue. Hitboxes. Oh boy. Editor, throw some images on the screen. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, not geometrically rational. However, I do believe that the paths and hitboxes cancel out, so I will give this a 50% geometric rating. If you went to school at all, you may know that geometry has a myriad of theorems, so I thought it would be fun if I proved some of them using the GD editor. But before that, I had to check one thing. Is geometry-Euclidean? To find out, all you need to do is verify if Euclid's fifth postulate, the famed parallel postulate, applies, which states that if two lines are cut by transversal and the interior angles on one side sum to less than the two right angles, the line will eventually meet on that side. So, does it work? Yeah, that's literally all you need to do. So let's see some theorems, such as the Pythagorean theorem, Thales theorem, and the sum of interior angles of a triangle. This one's pretty easy. And those are the ones that I thought of. Technically, this was a fully geometrical category, so we'll give it 100% geometrical. Now, let's carry on. I know I have used the word let 7 times as of when I'm writing this, and I am not afraid to keep using it. Robert Topala is a more geometrically rational individual that is in this game. But that doesn't mean he doesn't commit mistakes. Many mistakes, especially in his early levels. I have no clue why he'd do that besides from funsies. Also, Geometry Dash is a 2D game, so how is there 3D decoration? That's not allowed. You can only see a slice of the 3D world in the 2D plane, not multiple. So that means that the 3D block isn't actually 3D. But then, how in the world does the cube stand in one part of the block and be in front of the other at the same time? Is this the Schrodinger's cat situation? Another thing, why did Rob let us call the cube that if it's clearly a square? I mean, it was the idea. In addition, what exists? So, no clue how Rob let that happen. Furthermore, I cannot code the warp trigger correctly, so hitboxes don't scale as they should, which is not only extremely frustrating, but also breaks the laws of geometric similarity. This category was absent in the geometry aspect. What can we conclude from this? Well, let's calculate. Considering that all 5 categories have the same weight, this means that 36.76% of Geometry Dash is geometrical. Know what that means? Well, Robert Topal is a criminal. Less than 2/3 of the advertised material is actually in the game. Therefore, I am proud to announce that I will be conducting a lawsuit against Robert Topala and his company, RobTop Games, for the $4 we spent in this game. See you in court, Buster.